If you're dreaming of retiring somewhere that feels like a small town paradise but still keeps you close to great doctors, fitness classes, and all things wellness, then this video is for you. This video was actually requested, so I'm going to dive right in. Dermatologists, cardiologists, yoga classes, sip some coffee by the bay. Today, I'm talking about your health and not just emergencies, but the everyday stuff that keeps you feeling good and living well. I'm going to share everything I know about health and wellness in Fairhope, Daphne, and Spanish Fort. When I think of my life and the wellness activities I take part in, it looks something like this. Outdoor wellness activities like walking the Eastern Shore Trail. This gorgeous trail runs through Fairhope and Daphne along the Mobile Bayfront. I'll be honest, I don't do much running. I've got neuropathy in my left foot, so low impact is more up my alley. I recently bought a really cute baby blue cruiser with a basket from Walmart. I just haven't taken it out for a spin yet, and my husband Tony reminds me about that often. So basically, I walk the trails. I love my morning strolls at the Fairhope Pier. I grab a drink from Provisions. Right now, I'm on a dirty soda kick. Yes, I drink Dr. Pepper instead of coffee, but there's creamer in it, so what's the difference? Don't judge me. Those are just my mornings. Y'all can get your coffee. Afternoon, I like to hit the trail at Village Point Park Nature Preserve to walk off all those dirty sodas that I drink. Finally, for sunsets, you'll find me and the family at Mayday Park, either swinging on the bench or walking the pier. We're chasing our toddler down in the sand who's collecting driftwood. Those are just a few of our daily wellness activities. There are so many outdoor scenic places for you to enjoy down here. Locals love bird watching at Weeks Bay or strolling Gator Boardwalk. Both are peaceful little retreats, and you have a good chance of spotting some cool nature. Paddleboarding on Fish River or Magnolia River is very popular. I was even at Mayday Park last week, and people were paddleboarding in the bay. For hiking, you've got historic Blakely State Park in Spanish Fort. There's a ton of trails and Civil War history, so you can get your physical and your mental wellness in one spot. We have a buyer, Michael, who just closed on his Fairhope home last week, and he's looking forward to biking the Backcountry Trail in Gulf State Park, which is over 28 miles of scenic trails through the woods and the wetlands. A normal day for him is biking 70 miles. I need to get on board, but I don't think that cruiser I bought can handle all that biking. Okay, maybe I can, but that's just a little intro into some outdoor wellness that I'm very familiar with and we have right here at our disposal. Now, you'll also have plenty of indoor places to enjoy fitness and movement studios like Thrive Yoga and Wellness right in Fairhope. They have stuff like aerial yoga, which I've never tried because I just see myself getting tangled upside down, maybe stuck. But someday I might get brave and give it a shot. You've got CrossFit Fairhope. That's a big one. They have something for all age levels and fitness levels. Pure Bar in Daphne. This is right up my alley. Low impact, strength-based, classes set to music. My husband Tony enjoys F45. He's met a lot of great people there, and he likes that it's a 45-minute circuit training so he can get his workout done and move on with his day and go meet some of our wonderful clients to show them houses. We have Anytime Fitness or Planet Fitness. These are most convenient and most affordable. They've got lots of equipment and lots of classes. The Silver Sneakers program is huge. That's at the Daphne YMCA. It's very popular. They also have bars, stretch classes, yoga, water yoga, chair yoga, Pilates, something for everyone, honestly. It just depends on what you like. For relaxation and recovery, my favorite place is hands down the wellness spot at the Grand Hotel in Point Clear. They offer massages, facials, and total relaxation by the bay. I like to get my massage and then spend the afternoon in the sauna, the steam room, and then the relaxation room with a good book. There's no better way to recharge your batteries than a spa day at the Grand. We have several other local spas like Mind Body in Daphne. There's IV hydration lounges like Flow and Go, IV Daphne, or Liquid Acids in downtown Fairhope for vitamin boost, immunity, post-illness, or surgical recovery and post-travel recovery. Mindfulness and mental wellness. There are endless local churches where you can join Bible studies or men's and women's groups. There are community centers to get involved in as well. I love the creative classes at the Eastern Shore Art Center in Fairhope. If art is your therapy, you can get into painting here. Downtown Fairhope also has the Kiln. You can take private pottery classes or participate in beginner classes. They offer something for every skill level. And you can make pottery there. And the pottery you make there, you can take it home or you can give it as a gift. So it's kind of a win-win. A free and very popular wellness activity here on the beautiful Eastern Shore is nature journaling. There are so many Facebook groups that I see that organize these. I see photographers and painters set up all the time overlooking the bay, capturing breathtaking sunsets or painting a scene right in front of them. It's so refreshing to see people off their phones and just living in the moment. A lot of retirees we've helped move here also find their place in volunteering in Baldwin County. Our community is really passionate about volunteering, whether it's local cleanups, supporting the arts, or helping with animal rescues. There's always something meaningful to get involved in. So if you're retiring and you're wondering what you're going to do with all your new free time, volunteering is something you can easily get involved in down here. Healthy living and nutrition is also a passionate subject here. You'll be able to shop a lot of local farmer markets like Fairhope's Market on Thursdays or Coastal Alabama Farmers and Fishermen's Market in Foley. You can also join a community garden. Daphne and Spanish Fort both have small community plots. We have a Fairhope health food store for all of your organic groceries and your supplements. There's also Fresh Market in Daphne for some local produce. Smoothie and acai bowls are popular here, like Soul Bowls in Fairhope or Southern Shores Nutrition in Gulf Shores. The Eastern Shore is generally a sought-after place to live in for people who are focused on wellness. Fairhope has a reputation. It's like the Southern Belle of Baldwin County. Between the flowers, the charm, and the bay breeze, it's giving a front porch peace with a side of fresh air the moment you roll into town. But behind all that charm, Fairhope is actually one of the best prepared places in Alabama when it comes to aging well, and I'm going to tell you all why. Thomas Hospital and the Care Network. Right there on Greener Road, that's Thomas Hospital, part of the infirmary health system. It's not just pretty on the outside, although yes, it has palm trees and a very photogenic fountain. This is a full-service 24/7 hospital with over 160 beds. People actually fly into town for surgeries here. That's how trusted this hospital is. They've actually done the first robotic knee replacement and heart valve surgeries right here in Baldwin County, right inside those walls. And the care, warm, professional, and top-notch. But Thomas is not just the anchor. Fairhope is full of amazing clinics and providers. You have Southern Cancer Center for Advanced Oncology and Research-Based Treatment, Mobile Bay Dermatology and Spa, super cute office, rave reviews, and solid care. Infirmary Medical Group of Fairhope for everything from endocrinology to internal medicine. AFC Urgent Care on Greeno for fast help that isn't the ER. There's also the Med Center Urgent Care, so you have more than one. And there's also Eastern Shore Internal Medicine where they really take their time with you. So whether you're managing something like high blood pressure, diabetes, or autoimmune stuff, you're not starting over here. You're stepping into a community that's already ready for you. One of our clients moved here from Dallas. She's a retired teacher with lupus, and she was so nervous about losing the doctors that she'd been with for like over a decade. And she said, Jess, I've had the same rheumatologist for 10 years. What if I can't find someone who really gets it? Totally valid. I understand. We got her connected with a local doctor here who has experience with autoimmune care. By week 3, she was already seeing a new rheumatologist through infirmary health. When it comes to staying active, Fairhope makes it so easy, from the yoga studios to the rec center to the beaches. Moving around here isn't just easy, it's enjoyable. And I don't remember if I mentioned CrossFit Fairhope. Friendly as folks. People here are in their 60s, 70s. They show up, they modify where they need to, but they're still crushing it. The traditional gym route is available right in downtown Fairhope. You've got fitness, wellness, weights, machines, classes, and one-on-one support if that's more your style. But truly, the real magic happens outside. Bayfront Park is where people start their day. You'll see couples walking, neighbors catching up, mid-jog, bikers galore, and dogs who clearly run this town. It connects to the Eastern Shore Trail, and you can walk for miles along the bluff. There is also Knoll Park, a shady little hideaway with big pine trees and that fresh after the rain smell. Volanta Park is where a lot of people walk laps in the morning before the kids take over the baseball and soccer field later in the day. Now, let's be honest for a second. Fairhope is wonderful, but with the beauty comes a little bit of a premium. Housing prices can be higher here than in Daphne or Spanish Fort. And if you're on or near the water, you're definitely going to feel that in your insurance. Things like dermatology and some specialties can book out a little further too, just because so many people want to live here in Fairhope. But I live in Fairhope and I made an appointment at Haley Dermatology and I got in a week later. So it's kind of case by case. But for a lot of people, it's worth it to be here. You're paying for peace, access to care, and a lifestyle that genuinely supports you as you age. All right, y'all, let's head a little bit north to Daphne. So it's a little faster paced than Fairhope, a little more suburban-y, but still so full of that Eastern Shore charm. You've got Eastern Shore Urgent Care off 98. I've definitely been there with a sick kid a time or two. Mercy Medical for primary care and Bayside Medical Center, which is such a convenience. Family medicine, lab specialists, all in one building. No driving all over town or juggling a dozen appointments in different spots. The Daphne YMCA is honestly a hidden gem. It's not flashy, but it's a total hub for the community. Treadmills, classes, indoor pools, silver sneakers, water fitness, and even childcare for the grandparents doing double duty. This is definitely my family's favorite gym, and I love it because we can all go together. Now, when it comes to the outdoors, Village Point Park Reserve is my favorite spot. I know I mentioned it earlier, but it has shaded trails, oak trees, and a stunning quiet bay view at the end of the trail. It's like the prize at the bottom of the box. There's this amazing trail that winds through the forest, and it's very shaded because of all the mature trees, and then it spits you out at this beautiful private beach that you wouldn't even know existed unless you were local or someone like me told you about it. There's also Gator Boardwalk, which I mentioned earlier, and yes, there are sometimes real gators, but mostly you'll see turtles, herons, and frogs in this peaceful raised boardwalk right in town. We used to see a handful of gators there, but people have either moved them or they've moved on. And when it comes to fitness, you have options galore. Spanish Fort Express YMCA, it's newer, but everyone's going there. You've got F45, Planet Fitness, all within a few miles of each other. I also know so many people who live in Spanish Fort. They go to the Y in Daphne because it has everything, and it's honestly not that far. There's also Orange Theory and Daphne. They're both convenient to all the Eastern Shore, honestly. I live in Fairhope, and I'll drive to the Y every single day. So worth it, and it's just a short drive. Now, I can't not mention a popular wellness activity down here in the South, and that's church. In Southern Alabama, especially the Eastern Shore, church is part of wellness. Spiritual wellness supports your spiritual health. It helps people find their purpose, peace, and direction. It's where we reconnect with God, the community, we reflect on life, and we renew our values. On an emotional and mental wellness level, church is a safe place to process grief, anxiety, or just the ups and downs of life. Prayer, worship, and being reminded you're not alone can significantly lower stress and boost emotional resilience. You will definitely find that around every single corner down here. One of the biggest reasons church matters for wellness is community. You're surrounded by people who show up for each other, meals after surgery, childcare help, prayer chains, and just being known and loved. That kind of support system is wellness gold, if you ask me. And I can honestly say that we have some of the best churches right here in Lower Alabama. Three Circle Church, Christ the King, Coastal, City Hope. There's so many more. And this is where you'll get your best dose of mental wellness. So how do you even choose between these three amazing towns that I've mentioned? Fairhope is picture perfect and wellness focused. Daphne is super convenient, cozy, and full of community spirit. Spanish Fort is easy living with everything close by. And bonus, all three of these towns sit along Mobile Bay, so you have breathtaking sunsets at your disposal. And to be honest, no matter which town you live in, you will have easy access to all three towns' amenities with ease. Now, with all that said, we still have a lot more. Retiring in Lower Alabama has a good amount of coastal cities, and they're all connected. So let's explore some more nearby spots like Foley. A lot of people that we work with fall in love with Foley because it's just a short drive inland from the beaches. Foley doesn't always get the spotlight like Fairhope or Daphne, but honestly, it's one of the most practical places to retire if you want wellness and affordability in the same package. It still has that small town vibe with Saturday mornings at the farmers markets, or Sunday afternoons at Wolf Bay Lodge, or even a weekday stop at Foley's Main Street for coffee and a walk around the park. But wrapped around that simplicity is everything you really need. Take the outdoors, for example. Most mornings you'll see retirees walking the boardwalks at Graham Creek Nature Preserve, which is more than 500 acres of wetlands and wooded trails. And it's the kind of place where spotting a heron or a patch of wildflowers becomes part of your daily routine. And I'm being very serious about these walks. It's seriously a fan favorite. Heritage Park is another one. It has shady benches, a beautiful fountain, as well as a little community festival sprinkled in throughout the year. But just recently, they came together to honor Charlie Kirk, drawing thousands to pay their respects. The truth is, Foley gives you a slower pace without ever feeling empty. And while it's peaceful, don't think you're stranded in the middle of nowhere. You're not far from a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room, surgical units, and a lineup of specialists ready to tackle whatever you throw at them. South Baldwin Regional Medical Center is right off of Highway 59, and just north of it is a cardiologist, a gynecologist. Both are all within an arm's reach. Oh, and urgent care, family practices, and a growing circle of niche clinics are surrounding you. Whether you're hobbling around with knee pain like Tony or you're just channeling some personal care like me, Foley's definitely got your back. And hey, if Botox is your thing, my doctor is fantastic. I adore her, but if you want those details, you'll have to be part of the club. Some secrets are just too good to share with everyone. Now, one thing that I have to share with y'all is that the wellness scene here is anything but sleepy. At the Foley YMCA, you have silver sneakers classes, water aerobics, pickleball leagues, and I feel like there's sometimes less about exercise and more about making friends. You can also check out the Foley Senior Center, perfect for retirees who like their zen with a side of routine. And I've heard from a lot of folks that places like First Baptist and St. Margaret of Scotland aren't just about preaching on Sundays. These churches are basically social playgrounds with Bible studies, senior socials, and outreach programs. Another thing I always manage to forget, despite Tony nagging me like a broken record, is nutrition. I admit I have a soft spot for an ice cold, dirty Dr. Pepper, but I do tune into Tony's wisdom every now and then. Just don't tell him I said that. So if you're the type who likes your veggies crisp and your seafood fresh, the Coastal Alabama Farmers and Fishermen's Market in Foley is basically a southern coastal staple. Retirees swarm here for shrimp, snapper, local honey, and all the fresh produce you could dream of. Toss in the Fresh Market, Publix, and Walmart all in town, and boom, you've got everything from gourmet goodies to quick snacks, all just a short drive away. Now, let's say you can't find the right specialist in Foley, or maybe you're just not a fan and you're striking out and find the perfect specialist, or maybe the doctor and doc just doesn't tickle your fancy. No worries. Just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road are two big cities. You've got Pensacola and you have Mobile. And yes, I said big cities because these are what we consider lower Alabama's big cities. And it's one of two places where folks go when they crave more options, whether that's healthcare, shopping, or maybe just a break from your usual Netflix routine. Mobile and Pensacola both have you covered. Funny enough, we just got a text from a client hunting for top places to check out the other day, and naturally we recommended Daphne's 34th floor restaurant for beautiful views, and then Loda's Beer Garden if they were wanting something a little more casual, like a burger and a beer. Healthcare is really the anchor here between Mobile Infirmary, Spring Hill, USA Health, and USA's Providence Hospital. You've got some of the best hospitals on the Gulf Coast. We've had clients who were nervous about leaving longtime doctors in big cities, only to realize Mobile has the same level of care that they were used to. And because it's only like a 30 or 40-minute drive from most of Baldwin County, people often fold it into their routine. A lot of people will schedule their checkups, swing by Costco or Target afterwards, and maybe grab a lunch downtown and be home by dinner time. It's really not a burden. It's just part of the rhythm living here. And if you're open to venturing just a little further east across the state line, Pensacola brings an added layer to the healthcare and wellness picture. For many retirees, it's not about actually living in Florida. You want to take on the higher taxes and steep insurance costs over there, but they love being close enough to tap into what matters most. Healthcare is often the deciding factor. For veterans, the VA hospital in Pensacola is a huge benefit. We've had many clients say that access to the Veterans Hospital sealed their choice to settle in Baldwin County because they could enjoy the lifestyle here without giving up their benefits. And then between Sacred Heart and Baptist Health, the network of specialists in Pensacola covers nearly everything you could need. It's the best of both worlds, living in Baldwin County with top-tier medical care just down the road. And I'd be lying if I said Pensacola is just about medical. Retirees turn checkup days into outings. A morning appointment will easily turn into a lunch in downtown Pensacola. Our kids love the Naval Aviation Museum, and I'm sure grandkids will too. Climbing in and out of jets, listening to stories, it doesn't get any better than that. And then ending the day with ice cream downtown. And when the Blue Angels practice overhead, everyone in town becomes a kid again, retirees included. So you have easy access to Pensacola from Foley, in fact, all of Baldwin County. So that's definitely a perk of this area. Each town brings its own kind of magic, but what they all share, a commitment to keeping you healthy, happy, and connected for this next chapter. Just this week, we've helped two retired couples find their next homes in Lower Alabama. Kat and Mike, who are coming down from New York, found a beautiful home in Fairhope. After we toured several different houses, they realized they wanted something with less maintenance so they could spend more time enjoying each other without being tied up with constant housework and home renovations. The other couple, Wally and Jane from Illinois, just like Tony and I, they have been exploring their options for over a year. After weighing a few ideas, they decided on a new construction home in the beautiful Hope Vineyard community in Daphne. For them, the timing couldn't be any better. The build will actually take 6 to 7 months, which gives them just enough time to head back up north, officially retire, sell their home, and then make the move down here to start truly relaxing. They're gonna love being able to ride Walt's motorcycle year-round, catching amazing sunsets along the beach and the bay. Oh my gosh, and speaking of the beach, one of the biggest reasons people move to Alabama is for the coastal lifestyle. The beach isn't just a view, it's a form of wellness. The sound of the waves lowers your stress, the sunshine boosts your vitamin D and your mood, and simply walking barefoot in the sand is proven to reduce anxiety and improve your sleep. Did you know that? Because I just read that today. I always thought I was just exhausted after a day at the beach just because I was in the sun. For many, going to the beach isn't just recreation, it's therapy, and I fully agree. There's truly no better way for me to relax and reset than a day at the beach. Whether I have a weekend off, which doesn't happen very often, maybe a random weekday away from work, or just a few stolen hours to breathe, the water is always my go-to escape. I grab a good book, a blanket, my snacks, my Stanley Cup, and I am set. There's something about sitting in the sand, the sound of the waves, sunshine lifts my mood, and it pulls the stress right out of me. Wellness isn't just workouts or routines, it's taking those intentional breaks, especially down by the beach. In Lower Alabama, we enjoy mild winters and pleasant weather year-round. It's no surprise so many people choose to live here for the wellness benefits and overall quality of life. You're not stuck indoors for months because of snow, ice, or freezing temperatures. We just don't have that down here, and that alone makes Lower Alabama an ideal fit for retirees looking to stay active and enjoy their next chapter to the fullest. I know a lot of people are worried when they move somewhere new. Are they going to be able to actually find a family doctor? And I know a lot of folks that live here talk about the challenges in finding doctors. And I will say from experience, I've never had an issue finding a family practice for me, my husband, the kids, even new doctors right now. I can call my doctor right now, Dr. Osborne in downtown Fairhope, and I typically get in the next week. There's several new practices opening up because the population has grown here. So again, I don't ever have an issue finding a doctor here. If it's a specialty doctor and I can't get in on the Eastern Shore, I will call Foley or Robertsdale. And again, I'll get in within a week. So don't let that scare you away. Have a conversation with us and we will point you in the right direction. The healthcare network in Baldwin County is growing rapidly and they know that they need to support all the people moving here. So I would not let that deter you from making a move here. If you're ready to find your place here in the Eastern Shore, we'll be right here to help. Again, I'm Jessica. We are realtors with eXp Realty and our focus is assisting families with their relocation to our little slice of heaven. Call us today if you're ready to make the move. Now to learn more about living in Lower Alabama, watch this next video.